When I first rented out the basement apartment of my house in Atlanta, I never imagined how much my life would change. The place was modest, a cozy two-bedroom space with just enough room for someone starting over. I posted the ad online, and within a few days I met Darius Carter. Darius was a towering figure, well over 6 feet tall with broad shoulders and a quiet demeanor that contrasted with his intimidating size. His skin was a deep, rich brown, and his eyes were kind, carrying stories of hardships he never spoke about unless asked. Darius had recently moved from Chicago, trying to escape a string of bad luck that had left him broke and nearly homeless. When we first met, he wore a well-worn sweatshirt and jeans that had seen better days. Despite his situation, there was a humble dignity about him that struck me. I'm Emily Brooks, a single woman in my early 40s, working as a freelance interior designer. Living alone in a big house sometimes felt too empty, and renting out the basement was partly for company as much as it was for a little extra income. The first few months went smoothly. Darius was the perfect tenant, quiet, respectful, always trying to help out whenever he could. I noticed him offering to carry my groceries, helping fix a leaky faucet, and shoveling snow from the driveway without ever being asked. I could tell he was raised with good manners, and though we rarely had long conversations, a mutual respect grew between us. One chilly Thursday evening, I came home from a client meeting to find Darius sitting on the front steps, his head in his hands. He looked up when he heard my car pull into the driveway, his face etched with worry and fatigue. I got out of the car and walked over, feeling concerned. "Hey, Darius, is everything okay?" I asked gently. He hesitated, clearly not wanting to burden me, but then sighed heavily. "I lost my job today," he said, his voice low. "They said they were cutting back. I'm not sure how I'm going to make rent next month." My heart broke for him. I could see the shame he felt, the fear. No one deserved to feel like they were drowning with no one to turn to. "Come inside," I said. "Let's talk." We sat at my kitchen table, and I poured us both a cup of coffee. Darius explained that he had been working 2 part-time jobs, one at a warehouse and another doing overnight shifts at a convenience store, and that both had recently cut back his hours. He had been sending out applications but had no luck so far. As he spoke, I thought about the house. I had been wanting to renovate the guest room upstairs into a proper office space but hadn't had the time or help to get it done. It wasn't just painting. It needed drywall, some carpentry work, and someone strong enough to move the heavy furniture. Darius was more than capable, and I trusted him completely. An idea sparked. "Darius," I began, "what if, instead of paying rent for the next few months, you work here, help me fix up the house?" He looked up sharply, his eyes wide with surprise. "Are you serious?" I smiled. "I could really use the help, and it would give you some breathing room until you get back on your feet." At first, Darius was hesitant. He was a proud man and didn't like the idea of taking handouts. But I assured him this was a business arrangement. He would be working, earning his stay, and helping me with something I genuinely needed. Finally, he agreed. Relief washed over his face, and for the first time in weeks, I saw a genuine smile light up his features. The very next day, we started working. Darius tackled the heavy lifting first, moving old furniture, hauling debris out to the dumpster I had rented. He was efficient, tireless, and grateful. I admired his work ethic and found myself enjoying his company more and more. We'd chat during breaks, sharing little bits about our lives. He told me about his younger brother back in Chicago, how he hoped to bring him to Atlanta one day for a fresh start too. Over the next few weeks, Darius transformed the house. Not just the guest room, but small repairs everywhere, fixing creaky stairs, repainting chipped walls, replacing a broken doorknob. The house felt alive again, vibrant, filled with laughter and the smell of fresh paint and sawdust. One evening, after finishing the last coat of paint in the new office, we sat out on the back porch. I brought out a bottle of lemonade and 2 glasses. We were quiet for a long time, just enjoying the cool air and the sound of the crickets. "You didn't have to do all this for me," Darius said suddenly, his voice thick with emotion. "I didn't do it for you," I said, smiling. "I did it for us. This house is better with you here. I'm better with you here." He looked at me, and for a moment, I wondered if he would say something more, but instead, he just nodded, a soft, grateful look in his eyes. As winter turned to spring, Darius found a new full-time job at a local construction company. They valued his skills and hard work immediately. I watched with pride as he stood taller, walked with more confidence. He even bought himself a used pickup truck, a huge milestone for him. The day he came home with the truck, he knocked on my door, beaming with excitement. "Emily, you're the first person I wanted to show," he said. We went outside, and he proudly showed off the beat-up but reliable vehicle. I could tell he had worked hard for it, and I couldn't have been happier for him. After that, things shifted between us subtly. We shared dinners sometimes, went grocery shopping together, even took his truck to the farmer's market on Saturdays. It wasn't anything official, but there was a closeness, an ease that felt natural and right. One rainy afternoon, while cleaning out the attic, I stumbled across an old box of photographs. Darius was helping me, balancing on the ladder while I handed down boxes. As we looked through the pictures, laughing at my terrible 90s hairstyles, I realized how much Darius had become a part of my life. He wasn't just my tenant anymore. He was my friend, my family. A few months later, Darius was able to move into a larger apartment closer to his new job. The day he moved out, we both cried a little. He hugged me tightly, lifting me off the ground with his huge arms. "Thank you, Emily," he said, his voice breaking. "You changed my life." I hugged him back just as fiercely. "You changed mine too, Darius." Even after he moved, Darius stayed close. He visited often, helped with odd jobs around the house, and never forgot the kindness that helped him back onto his feet. And I never forgot the incredible gift he gave me, a friendship built on trust, hard work, and a little bit of faith when it was needed most. Sometimes life brings people together in the most unexpected ways. All it takes is one act of kindness, one irresistible offer at just the right moment, to change everything. And in our case, it changed everything for the better.